Today's a special day for the Roy family. Their son Anil has come home on vacation and they are waiting to hear about his new job. Anil's excited too. There is so much to tell them. As an outreach worker working with drug users, he has learnt many things and is eager to share his work with his parents.
Anil, so tell me, why is it so important for you to work with drug users?
Let him at least sit down and have a cup of tea before you both start.
It's okay, Ma. Come, you sit down too. There are many youngsters like me out there. I have seen how their lives are getting ruined by their addiction to drugs. And those who take drugs by injecting them are at a very grave risk. Often needles and syringes are shared between the drug users. This means that they can get infected by blood-borne viruses such as HIV or hepatitis B and C. My project works towards making their lives safer. We try and ensure they do not share needles and that they use clean needles.
But Anil, just a minute. I'm confused. Would it not be better to stop the supply of drugs altogether?
And why not stop people from taking drugs in the first place?
Yes, it's important to stop the supply of drugs. And we do encourage people not to take them. But this takes time. And meanwhile, there are people injecting drugs. Some unwilling to give it up. Others unable to. All of them are at risk of HIV when they share needles. And through them, their partners are at risk too. We need to work with them to reduce the harms as much as possible.
And how do you work to reduce harms?
Our project does many things. Education, to stop using drugs, to reduce the number of sharers, to use clean needles, to be faithful to one's partner, and to always use a condom. Abscess management, educating our community on how to prevent the formation of abscesses and how to care for them. Needle syringe exchange programs, encouraging drug users to return old, used needles in exchange for clean, unused ones. Oral substitution therapy, weaning drug users away from unsafe, addictive, injecting drugs to an oral, medically safer drug.
I always knew my son would choose a job to make me proud one day.
After all, whose son is he?
6 months later, Anil meets with his friend Rishi. They talk about Anil's work with the injecting drug users. Anil, tell me, how do you reach out to drug users? Isn't it difficult to approach them?
Well, I work with my team of peer educators. They are from the community of drug users. We work together. They know, as I have learned, that working with drug users means reaching out to them where they are located. We go where they are. Listen to their problems and encourage them to come and avail of the services set up for them. Often they are not aware of these. Sometimes they are scared of rejection or facing stigma. It's important to gain their trust. As an outreach team, we do many things. We learn about the community we are working with so that we can support them better. We distribute new needles and syringes in exchange of their used ones so that they do not share and get infected with HIV. Also, we distribute condoms so that they do not have unprotected sex. We assist in referrals to medical, legal and welfare schemes. We help our community to access services for testing for ART, for TB treatment and RCH.
And how do you keep your team motivated?
I try and understand the challenges my peer educators face. Sometimes they struggle to keep their own drug use under control, or have to face the hostility of their community, or wonder whether their work will make a difference. But then we talk about it and we realize that even the biggest problem can be addressed if we break it into small steps. And most important, the trust placed in us by our community keeps us going.
Chotu, one more chai for my special friend here. Let's wish him all the very best in his work.
Thanks, Rishi.
Anil is excited today. It's 1 year since he joined the project. His project has been recognized as one that is making a difference. And a visitor has come to see the work that Anil and his team are doing.
Hello.
Welcome, ma'am.
Anil, we are happy to see the progress this project has made, but you must have had to overcome many challenges. Tell me, did the people in the neighborhood object to your work?
They did in the beginning. They feared crime would increase in the locality if we opened a drop-in center. We explained to them why their support was important. We realized it will take time, but we needed to persist.
And what about you? What keeps you going through the difficult times?
It's the small, special things that happen. Every time a drug user comes to us and says he wants to be helped. Every time a used needle is returned and a clean one taken. Every time a referral is made to a rehab center or to a doctor or to the ICTC. Every time a drug user who has TB is helped to get treatment. Every time an HIV-positive drug user is helped with nutrition, vocational training, ART, or access to welfare schemes. Then I know, as we all do, that tomorrow will be a better day if only we keep the faith and remember that every step counts.